Well, what's up, everybody? And I hope your day is off to a great start. We have a pretty exciting episode today. And today I'm sitting with our new social media director, Shannon Coulon. And we are extremely excited about her coming on board. We're extremely excited about what she adds to the team. And today we're going to have a little conversation, and we're going to help you guys get to know her a little bit also. What's up,
everybody.
Shannon? Hey.
Hey.
What's up? What's happening, man? So it's really interesting when Shannon came in to talk to us. Just to give you a little background on her, or you know what, I'm gonna ask Shannon to kind of go through a little bit and talk to us about who she is, where she's from, what she's been doing, and why she really is a great fit for this position. So Shannon, why don't you tell everybody kind of where did you grow up and about your family a little bit? Do you have any siblings? And let's let everybody know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I am 22. I just graduated from LSU probably a little over a month ago. I'm from Prairieville, Louisiana, and I'm living in Baton Rouge right now, currently commuting to Mandeville. I will be a Mandeville resident soon, so woohoo.
Yes.
No more long drives.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I graduated from LSU in Mass Comm, go Manship. My concentration was broadcast journalism. I've always had an interest in marketing, and my entire senior year, like my parents have 4 daughters, okay? I'm the third of 4. So they're like, Shannon, you need to get a job, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, I know, because y'all know I've always been this highly driven person. I'm like, I'm searching. It was hard to figure out exactly where I wanted to go with my life after college because cheerleading was my entire life. I was a cheerleader at LSU for 4 years. That was my full-time job. I gave everything I had to LSU cheerleading. I was the captain for 2 years as well. I loved LSU cheerleading. And so for me, it was really about finding my next passion, finding something that I can fully commit to and use my personal skills and also the skills I've learned in broadcast. So I was searching on LinkedIn, reaching out to different people, and I came across Direct Mail IO. And so I reached out to Mike, and I came in for an interview.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I knew it when she walked in, because when you really sit down and you dissect, like the LSU cheerleading thing is interesting. My daughter is in dance, right? And so I understand, like I played boys sports. I played football at Tulane. But man, my daughter has put so much more time in than any sport I ever had. And so cheerleading, I know, is a similar thing to dance. And so the commitment and, the fortitude that you have to go to make it not only to be the captain, but I think you were the captain on the year that Joe Burrow, and they say the greatest college football team of all time.
I wasn't a captain that year.
You were a cheerleader.
But I did cheer at the national championship. And yes, I was a cheerleader.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and I've known some of my other friends' daughters who have cheered at LSU, have been on maybe the Golden Girls, and I just knew, man, it's really hard. It's a major commitment, and to be able to juggle that. I think you were on the Dean's List too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you look at LSU cheerleading, you look at this, and we just looked at it, everything that Shannon has done in life, you've won at, right? It's very important that you win, right? And whether there was hurdles or commitments or, you had to learn something, man, to climb the ladder like that and to be at such a high position, it's kind of like the pinnacle of a cheerleader's career is to cheer for a major college, an SEC school. It's like the thing, right? They have the best cheerleaders, I would imagine, right, in the country. So yeah, you can see that, but with the way that Shannon communicates and we were just super excited about this because, our passion and what we want to do is to go out there and by example, help business. Our mission at the end of the day, we're a marketing company, but the mission that we come in here is how can we use our skills and our talents to help other people? And that really aligned with the way you looked at the world too, which was really exciting.
Right. So
where'd you get that positive outlook from?
Your
dad's in the car business, right?
Yes, my dad is in the car business. I have a great family. I have great parents. I'm extremely blessed. But being the younger of 2 older sisters, they were always closer. They just bonded better than I did with them. And so I guess I found ways to, get attention when I was younger. But
And that's
yeah,
that's what
I
social
found,
media is all about, is getting attention.
I found my voice at a very young age. I guess I get some of those skills from my dad. I don't know. I've just always been that way. So, but yes, with cheerleading, like you tell people you're a cheerleader and they don't know really what that means. And it's a lot of life skills that you've learned, and even no matter what kind of sport you do, you have your coaches and other older members on the team that you look up to. And so I think it's, I found those role models and I found those people that held me accountable, taught me about responsibility, and really just being grateful for the position that you're in, but also being on your toes, because talent is amazing to have, but you have to have hard work. Like, in my eyes, hard work does beat talent. And so things might not come as naturally to me, but I will work until I am at where I want to be. Yeah. So it's, and I just have, I'm like, they call me the Energizer Bunny.
Yep.
So, yeah, I have a lot of nicknames, but yeah, I'm very excited to be here. I've always, I kept saying, Mom, I really want a job where I can have that creative freedom and use all these different skill sets that I have. Because it's hard for that to come across on paper. I feel like this was the perfect opportunity for me to grow and learn. Like, I'm like a sponge. Every day I come in here, I'm listening to you guys, and it's just like amazing the amount of things I've learned just the past 3 weeks.
You're kind of becoming an expert. I hear you talking now, and you're kind of becoming an expert already.
But yeah, it's very exciting for me. This is a brand new chapter. So.
Yeah. And Shannon's going to be the kind of the voice, our voice to the world in social media. She's going to be carrying on the message and the mission of our company. And it's when you think about how are we going to interact with people, and how are we going to what kind of person do we need in this role to social media is always changing, right? It's always moving. There's all these little tricks to the trade, right? There's all these little nuances that once you figure it out, it becomes really good. So what have you learned so far? Like, what are some of the things you've learned so far?
Well, one of the biggest things I've learned about myself is I do weird things when I'm alone in the room with the camera rolling. No, I'm just kidding. But so I've learned that, it's not only how you say it, it's like kind of you want to talk to the ear and to the eye with social media. Because people, and this is kind of what happens with broadcast too, people are multitasking. They could easily just swipe through your video, not really listen to what you're saying if you're not providing them with value. And so really what I'm trying to do is create our social accounts so our team culture comes across as soon as you click on our page. And also just like putting the faces behind the name, because I feel like we have a great team here. It's a great company. The values and the morals that reside within this company, it's, I feel like that's an attractive thing. So now it's about pushing out that content that shows that.
Yes. Yeah, it's exciting, and being able to champion these businesses, and then, this is one of the things as we're moving into our social media strategy for people that are tuning into our channel. Like, what do we want from them? We want to give them information, but at the end of the day, we want them to give feedback. So what would you tell the people listening about, hey, when you see a post or anything, don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to dig in, right? Because we're going to be there. We're going to get them an answer. And but that's what we would like to see out of our community. We want to engage with you, because it's not really a relationship unless two people are talking, right?
Exactly.
Right, so as we put things out there, we're putting things out there. We want your feedback. Was it helpful? Do you have questions about what we said? All of those things. So maybe you can kind of let people know, hey, this is how you can reach us. Don't hesitate to reach out. There's never a bad question. We'll answer any question related to marketing, even if you're not doing business with us. We want to help people along the way, because we know if we do that, then there's good things going to come to us.
I think that's the beauty behind social media. It is a channel that can give life to the smallest of businesses. Right. And who doesn't want free help, right? Yeah. I mean, the things that we're offering, I could post how-to videos all day, posting tips all day long. But if people aren't commenting and letting me know what kind of questions they have, because people have them,
They're just afraid to ask sometimes.
Right. Because, it can be intimidating. Like, no one wants to admit that they're struggling or, they want to get their business off the ground. They don't know where to start. Or maybe if it's just a small question. Nobody really wants to admit that, but I want it to be a space where everyone feels comfortable. Like, we can talk about these things, and even if you think something I'm saying is wrong or whatnot, like, I would like to engage in the conversation with you. And not just me, like, our entire team can get on it too. Because everyone here... It's amazing the different skill sets that everyone here has that it could just be extremely insightful to anyone in the business world.
You hear that, small businesses? Listen, if you're watching and you have questions, we want you to reach out to us, man, just because that's why we're doing this. We're not doing this we're doing this to get feedback from you guys so we can help you and so we can help further your business, whether it's, scheduling a call with us. Listen, we do a lot of things that there's no money attached to it, right? Because our mission is to unlock. People have potential, and people saw potential in you, right? When you were growing up and you were starting to cheer, you had a lot of potential, and by your drive and determination and people's confidence in you, and they saw the potential in you, it allowed you to blossom and become what you were. Well, I think everyone out there has a tremendous amount of potential. A lot of people want to get into start their own business, right? It's the American dream, right? You wake up, you hang your own shingle, you're your own boss, and you're out there making your way. That's the people that we want to champion. And everybody out there has a good idea. Everybody has, a concept. And so, we want to be that gap that helps you wake up and I call it walking in your purpose, right? When you're in your purpose, you never work a day in your life. Listening to Shannon right now and seeing her every day, the way you come in here, excited, you're learning. I see when you learn a new trick or a new tip, how excited. Just think about that if you're a business, right? You get to go on that journey. We can help take you on that journey also. So, it's extremely exciting. I know you've been a ball of energy to the organization so far, and the results are already starting to show. And man, we really listen. Sharing our content, telling your friends about the content. If you don't own a small business and you're looking at our content, share it with your friends, right? There's even if people that are watching, they can give us feedback, or they share this with people that maybe everybody knows people that owns a small business, right? Runs a small business, right? So, that's ultimately what this is all about, and it's the beginning of the journey. We are where we are right now, and I think that there'll be incremental. The success that we're going to have, just because that's why we brought you on, is when you look at our team, we really have focused when we hire people that they understand, they fit into the culture of the company. Company culture is real big here. We run, I want to call it, I'm the CEO, but at the end I don't ever call people my employees. We work together as a team. Everybody has their role and everyone has input into things, and we empower people to go and do the best that they can in the position that they are, and we let them do their thing. So when we're hiring people, it's important that we're bringing people on like you, people that are driven, that are coming in with a game plan every day. And that's really what life's about. If you wake up every day with a game plan, with a mission, with an intentional about the things you need to get done, man, life gets to become easier and easier. And so it's discipline, right? It's commitment, and it's mindset.
And I will say that was one of the initial things that attracted me to you guys. As soon as I walked into the door, it was the energy and the vibe that I got. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can see myself working here. And I've always said I am a people person, right? Like, I love to be inspired by other people. And the second you're not being inspired is where you're not going to grow. Like, I am all about stepping out of my comfort zone, growing, learning new things, setting an example for someone behind me. You never know who's looking up to you. And so I think that also with our social media, it's not just about certain marketing tactics to help your business thrive. It's also about the motivation that it takes to even run a business or to be a part of this world, because it can eat you alive. And so I think the content we're providing hits on a personal level and also, in your everyday life, because who doesn't want to be motivated? It's hard to motivate yourself. And so by us telling you, like, oh, tip of the day, do this, or, eat your greens. Even there's the simplest of things, that's not content that you see all the time.
No.
So I hope that, we're all self-motivated people, so let's use our power to help motivate other people. And so that was one of the biggest things, because I just love that about our company, and I hope other people start to see that with our content too.
Yeah, we like to have fun here, just so you know.
Yeah.
Every day is a fun day here. So so one of the things that was interesting when I got your resume was that the fact that you were a cheerleader and me knowing these things. So talk a little bit about, this was one of the things that really intrigued me. And when we interviewed you, you kind of went through this with us, but why don't you tell the people, like, what did it take to be a cheerleader at that level? Like the commitment from you, the time commitment, and how did you manage that with your studies and your social life and those things?
Yeah, so like any sport, you have to be competitive, right? Yeah. There is such thing as healthy competition, which is going to grow the squad as a whole. But it's also, a mentality and a mindset that you have to consistently and constantly be on yourself about, because on the college level, like, your mom and dad's not holding your hands. No one's going to tell you, hey, you need to go get in the gym and work, right? It's up to you. And really, you are in control of how far you'll get. And
so I got a question for you. So as you're going through this process, tell the people, like, did you do anything? Like, did you write it down? How did you plan out your time and your day? And how did you organize this so you knew that you were hitting your mark? Because it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. So what was your game plan and how did you do that?
So it's really funny, and people might think this is cheesy. I am a pen and paper type of person.
Okay.
Even if it's
you write everything down.
Even if it's just smallest of tasks, I have to write it down, and it's like the satisfaction of scratching it out when you complete it. But so going into LSU cheerleading, senior in high school, about to try out, like, you're with the best of the best people. So it's humbling and exciting at the same time, because, you're not the best on your high school squad. Like, you're with the best of the best. And so as soon as I remember the first time I walked into LSU cheerleading's gym, I was just in awe. Like, it was like my mouth was drooling, because I was like, this will be me. I will be that senior on gold. I'll be on nationals. Like, I will be in Tiger Stadium. And so it's picturing yourself doing it every day. And I would literally write down, like, the certain skills I needed to get by the end of the month, or like, I have to go into the gym 5 days for 2 hours this week, whatever it is. And it's like, you have to be your own coach in a way, and then just absorbing in all the feedback, like how I'm doing right now with my job. Like, every piece of advice that either an older cheerleader gave me or a coach, like, I was taking it all in.
Wow.
And so, it was just like telling myself, hey, I want to be in this person's shoes. What am I going to have to do to get there? Wow. And so, you need to learn about defeat in order to succeed. So as a freshman, like, I worked my tail off, and I wasn't where I could have been, and that was the most frustrating thing for me, because I was like, I'm putting in everything I have and balancing school with that too. Like, I was on the dean's list, so, that takes a lot of studying.
Yeah.
And so I worked my butt off. I wanted to be on nationals as a freshman. That didn't happen. I got to be an alternate, but I was grateful to be an alternate. Yeah. And, it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. I got to watch and learn. And so just being there and being around the best people on our squad made me better.
Patience is important.
Patience, yes. Right? You got to, stick. You have those goals in the back of your mind, and you're not going to let them go the second it gets hard, or the second somebody tells you can't, because that's one thing about me. I like to prove people wrong.
So when it got hard, you leaned in. When it got hard, you leaned in. You didn't shrink back. You said, okay, I know what I need to go conquer.
And also, I think the biggest thing that it takes to commit to anything in your life is passion. And it was very obvious that I had a passion for cheerleading. I mean, that's why I was a leader, and it was an honor to be able to lead other people. And they would always ask me for advice, and I just tell them, it's got to come from your heart, and it's got to come from your mind. It's that mental strength and that heart to get through it. And so it was extremely humbling to be able to lead a squad.
Year. Yeah. So in your freshman year, so that's interesting. You go there, you make the team, but then you become an alternate. So as you were an alternate, you're watching these people. You're watching how they move. You're watching how their work ethic. You're watching their commitment. You're watching how much they talk, how much they listen, how much, so that, did it just come natural? You just knew, hey man, I'm working hard, so this must be another component, the mental part of things, right? Watching what people do mentally. So how important was that when, physically you had it mastered, but mentally there maybe was some things you needed to overcome?
Right. I think it's the power and understanding that you don't know everything. You can always learn. Right. And looking back now that I was in the program for 4 years, I wasn't ready. And obviously the coaches made the right decision. You know, I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready. Yeah. And now that I had been through it for 3 years after that, I knew what it took. Yeah. And so therefore I could lead other people down the path I've been on. And, you know, my whole goal was to make the team better than the way I found it.
Yeah, and I think this is
almost like a legacy, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you learn a lot about yourself through listening to other people. You don't ever want to talk and not ever listen to your team, because nobody's going to respect you. Respect is earned and not given.
That's
so
good.
That
That's
was just
great.
like the biggest, because even I grew as a leader within 2 years, because I was captain as a junior and a senior. And I think the difference in the way I led the team from my junior year to senior year changed drastically, just because
you're always growing, always
learning. Right?
Yeah.
So passion, work ethic, and knowing when to listen.
Yeah. And how did you prepare for this? You know, preparation too, right? Preparation and did you have like, you know, a set of things that you say you write things down a lot? Were there like, was it always changing? You know, every day it was changing. Your list was growing, your list was shrinking, your list was growing and shrinking. So it never really ends, right? The growth and the learning process doesn't ever end. So it's not like you got to where you wanted to go and said, I did it.
Never.
That's when the chips get even higher, right?
Yeah, it's I buy a new notebook for every year I had in college. And so this year, it's actually still the same notebook. In the front page, I wrote down what I wanted to get out of my last 2 semesters at LSU and just like beyond that. Yeah. And so like my freshman year, I had a journal that I had from like my senior year of high school. And I remember writing in the pages, I think I was on a bus to an away trip or something for a football game. Yeah. And I wrote in the pages like, I'll be on nationals, this, and this, and I would write it down. And so I would focus on that all the time. Like I would get in my zone and I would be laser focused. Like I had a vision of where I wanted to be. And, you know, it's just, it sounds cheesy, you know, like people keep journals and diaries, but that is a real thing. When you're writing it down and constantly reading it every time you open your notebook, like it's going to keep you on your path.
Documentation, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think this little this little talk kind of gives everybody some insight on, you know, the quality of person that Shannon is, you know, her enthusiasm for the job, her willingness to help, her desire to be great and to be excellent at everything that she does. And she's a ball of energy, like we said. So listen, all I can tell guys, reach out to her, interact with us. We're here to help people. This is not, you know, if you could come live inside of what we do. We talk about helping people, and by helping people, that's how we make money, right? And so we're always doing good to do good. Shannon, we're so excited to have you as a part of the team. I'm excited about the future. You've won at everything that you've ever done, and I'm confident that you're going to win here. And that's what we do here, man. We bring winners on board to help other people win in life. And man, the team, myself, we're so excited to have you aboard, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Thank you.
Let's do it.